All right, everybody. Thank you for your patience as we get started here. And we are live with yet another Tetris Effect Connected Community Showcase to celebrate the Tetris 40th anniversary. Hope everyone is doing well, whether you're on the Classic Tetris YouTube or here on our Enhanced Experience Twitch. And I am joined by none other than the King today, one of my favorite CTWC hosts and event organizers. Kingsman, how are you doing today?
Ooh, what's up, everyone? I can't believe I'm here over on Enhanced Experience, man. This is so exciting, Shen. You know, you and I have been trying to collaborate for a long time and getting back together for whether we're doing friendlies or any of your events, man. But tonight's the night, baby. I'm here for the big finale. I'm here to see all the hype stars that you bring in for TEC, baby. You know, I used to be a big TEC main back in the day, Shen, and you and I, we've rumbled a couple of times. We did rumble. You have the bragging rights over me. I recall that, but it was a close one. It was a pretty close one, and we're gonna have to settle it again.
Yeah, knowing me, I may have topped out without thinking thinking I was ahead or something like that. I recall we may have had an exchange similar to that. But yes, King, I'm very happy to have you here. And as far as I know, I haven't had you to commentate any modern Tetris, so it might be kind of interesting to see how you feel about these modes like Zone Battle. We will be doing some classic Tetris as well. And of course, this frantic teams mode, which is kind of a good hybrid. You still have the one-piece preview. It's not, how do I put it? It's not like the most, the spirit of the game mode is fun. So we're going to have some fun with it. We're going to see if our team, Enhance, can take on the Dream Team, which includes Miles, Super Shocky, and Dormy. So yeah, we're going to hop right into it with Greentea and Ferox at my side, Ferox being an Enhanced moderator, and Greentea is a legend of the Tetris community, as I'm sure you know, Kingsman, and anybody watching. And then, yeah, so we'll get this started. Where is our graphic here? Bam. And also my cat is making an appearance in this graphic, so shout out to Lenny. Lenny has helped me organize some events and works hard in the spreadsheets, so Lenny deserves to be in that graphic as well. But yes, we're going to be taking on Super Shocky, who is our recent back-to-back TECWC champion. And to earn that title, you have to be good at every Tetris mode. So Shocky is one-of-a-kind player, and glad to have him here, Kingsman.
Oh, yeah, no, I know Shocky for a very long time. In fact, Shocky was a big proponent in the classic Tetris realm during the pandemic era, and I used to restream quite a bit of Super Shocky matches. And Super Shocky, fun fact, people don't know, but almost was going to be King's Fate 5 of 2021.
Ooh.
Until kind of, you know, disappeared and went back to the modern scene and started storming up over there. But yeah, I was a big fan of Super Shocky all the time in 2020 when he was playing all those great games. But now we're going to get to see in action. Now, this is kind of like a boss battle here, Shen. Is that this 3v1 type of deal?
That is absolutely correct, and we're going to hop right into it as all the players are ready here. And Shocky is known to use some Area 2 bosses. There's like, the boss he's using is titled Cancer, but everyone likes to call it the Crab. And yeah, I'll fill you in. Oh, I'm actually playing too, so I'll fill you in on how this works, but feel free to ask any questions for our chat or, yeah, if you're new to the game mode. Have you had the chance to play this, Kingsman?
No, I have not had a chance to play this version, but, you know, in Classic, we started doing this on a number of different streams. Myself and a few other hosts are starting to get into, like, this type of boss battle realm because, you know, we use Nestor's champs these days to play at some of the higher levels in some of our variants, and one of the offerings that Yobi, the great inventor of Nestor's Champ, was able to do was to be able to recreate something like this, where you can do, you know, 2v1, 3v1, 4v1, actually currently right now 6v1, which we call boss battles over in the classic realm with Adam Irish. So this is something very interesting. You can see the setup there, and boom, Deca Head is right there on the right going against Shocky. So, you know, this is something I've recognized, but obviously in the modern realm, this is a lot faster than what we see in Classic.
Yeah, and it's still the one-piece preview, so there is going to be a throttle to some extent for our top players. But yeah, we also see a lot of Classic players that love to just play this mode exclusively in Tetris Effect. I think Shocky, I believe, plays a fair amount of the connected mode. It's kind of a mode for all players. It's a good way to like deviate from some of the more competitive rule sets within Tetris. So totally recommend it. And maybe, King, we could always team up sometime if you want to.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm not ready to be a boss yet. I need teammates here. And look at you guys go. This is the enhanced team kicking some butt. Looking to take on the Super Shocky. 3v1 is always so difficult, man. In any type of face-off. You know, I'm a big wrestling fan too. For those that don't know too much about the King, there's been matches where there's handicap matches, usually a 2v1, but we've seen some 3v1s in certain circles. And no matter the odds, always the person that's on their own is usually a top-tier player, and Shocky certainly has earned that right, as Shen mentioned, previous two-time winner in several of these events.
Yeah, Shocky can throw down. Actually, we had our first competitive teams tournament last year for 2023 with an open sign-up, and Shocky's team managed to take first in that as well. But we'll see if they're even a match for us here at Kingsman. I mean, we are absolutely stacked here at Enhance, so we'll see if Shocky has what it takes here.
Yeah, I can see that. I can notice that I'm also seeing, like these little blurs popping up. It says bump on your guys' side and defense over for Shocky. So maybe Shen, for the novice like myself and others that maybe watch it for the first time, kind of give me a detail of what some of this stuff is coming up means.
Yeah, sure. So as a boss, you have a slew of bosses to pick from, and each boss has like a signature attack, so it kind of mixes up the gameplay depending on the boss's play style, etc. But as you can see, Shocky more so just needs to choose when to attack and when to defend. And obviously, as a boss, as you can see, you have to be pretty fast in order to play at the highest level. So maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but when you get the hang of it and kind of get the cadence and know when to attack versus defend, you can actively switch between those options, which you probably see Shocky doing here a little bit.
Yeah, I can currently see that, and I see some Greentea action over on the left side. Look at him go, man. Ooh. It's always so fun to watch him. And you guys, I can see that merge going on. I remember when Scout was kind of talking about that when he was giving that very detailed video about TEC, and he did a wonderful job about that. For those that are new like myself, probably would recommend to watch that. Go check out a Game Scouts channel. He's got a lot of TEC content there, and you guys are building up really well. 15 lines going up. See that charge in. Guys are going up there. Ooh, I love it. The blocks explode and hit Shocky right there. Oh, and he's all the way at the top there, and that's a top out. There you go. Shocky is done, and Enhanced team get one. Nice job.
Yes, Greentea has still got it. Carrying us there with the most meter contribution. I was slacking on my side there, but hey, we still got the job done, and we have taken one game off of the Dream Team here. The next boss is going to be no slouch. Dormy, who anyone that follows Modern Tetris knows how strong of a boss Dormy will be in this game. But yeah, that was our first matchup here. And next up, we are going to have the Dream Team against myself, Kingsman. So we'll see if I can multitask as a boss here.
All right, well, let's see if you can multitask there. I'm very excited. Shen, good start for your team right now. So you can see the details there. Team Enhanced got the 1-0 on Super Shocky. So now the roles are going to be reversed. The Dream Team will now take on Shen. He's going to go solo in this one. So we'll see how he does if our main man can pull it out here. I'm very excited to see what you got, Shen.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what some of these players have in store as well, because Miles is a very known player in the classic Tetris community, and I believe I want to say they got top 8 at CTWC this year. We'll keep spoilers out. I am actually not sure, but yes, Miles actually, before they got into classic Tetris, they threw down on Tetris 99 and Puyo Puyo Tetris, before even Tetris Effect cross-platform multiplayer existed. So I'm sure Miles will be a contender here to help out the Dream Team. And yeah, with Miles, Super Shock, and Dormy, I am going to be in for a World of Hurt here. So we're going to get this lobby set up, Kingsman. And while I do that, and while we have you here, first off, it is the Tetris 40th anniversary, and no better person to have than the King, who has helped propel this game in the recent years. But what's going on with you? What kind of events are you hosting? And yeah, anything you want to talk about for some of our Enhanced players and fans that may not be familiar with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those that don't know, I am the king of the restreams, the man that has the most restreamed matches in Classic Tetris history with like over 2,500 streams under my belt. It's definitely more than that these days, but who's counting, right? So over the course of a 4-year period, and currently you can find me, my Twitch handle is Kingsman36, but you can find me mainly on the Classic Tetris channel as I host our Tetris series that we do weekly, which is called Tetris Friendlies. No confusion there with Tetris Friends, as Shen kind of mentioned, but Friendlies is our kind of a hybrid of the classic Tetris matches with a wrestling style flavor to them, since I'm a big pro wrestling fan, and we kind of blended those two together to bring that world. So we fight for championships, we have fun storylines that we do throughout the year that kind of help build players, and kind of, the players that we know today, like you mentioned, Miles kind of got their starts in the Friendlies, where he started to hone his craft to get better and better each year. So many of the stars in Classic that you see today got their first start back in the day when we began. So that is hosted every Monday and Friday. Mondays are done by the Burb Wizard, and Fridays are my show, the Friday Night Fights that we do on the Classic Tetris channel, usually around 6 p.m. Eastern there. So you can check it out on that. We got ourselves a super show coming up. We just had Greentea participate against Boom Tetris Berjev back in April. So now Clash of Champions is where we have all our championship matches that'll be taking place. So our current champions that reign will have to defend against some big time names, and that'll be announced coming next Friday.
Yeah, and I had the chance to tune into your Best of 99 series that you kicked off with Shocky versus Jeff, right? So I'll be looking forward to that and tuning into that as a DAS player and fan of the play style. So
absolutely.
So many matches to come when it comes to that. But yes, we are going to hop into our next game here, which is the Dream Team, Shocky, Miles, and Dormy versus myself. And I also have my gamer tag in there, Shen. Many people know me in the community as Shen. So yes, and I'm joined with my cat, who is we're pretty much Batman and Robin when it comes to Tetris, Kingsman. Like Lenny provides coaching tips throughout the games, and is actually not by my side. So I lose is because Lenny, the coach, isn't here currently. But yes, we're about to hop into this, and I will be playing as an Area 1 boss called Sagittarius, and I'll try my best to walk you through what's happening as I play the boss here.
Absolutely, and I gotta agree with Light Rod here. Unfair 3v2 in this case, even though Lenny might be out of the room for the moment, but he can do a run at any time, and then that'll give it an unfair advantage. So we'll see if Shen's gonna pull some shenanigans here.
All right, so yeah, as you play as a boss, you definitely want to move quickly so you can get as many attacks in as possible. And because of that one piece preview, I like to personally use a right whale, just like you would see in classic Tetris, as it's a little easier to make stacking decisions this way.
Now, how much of a throw off is it in this mode where you get the one piece preview versus the other modes that you would play in TEC that you have a little bit more of a, like a 2 or 3 piece preview at certain times?
Right. I think it depends on your strength as a player, right? Because I've been around Tetris games for years, right? So one piece preview is not a problem for me, but it can definitely throw players off that really utilize that full preview to move quickly, right? So you kind of have to change it up a little bit, play a little more instinctually. But even then, like, our top players will still kind of have an understanding of how to stack effectively without that massive piece preview that you have in Zone Battle or any other Tetris game, right? So as I say that, a few misdrops on my end here, but there we go, cleared it up. And if you can see the orbs floating around my avatar, that kind of gives you an idea of how strong my defense is about to be here.
Yeah, I'm trying to root for you here, Shen, since you mentioned you are the Sagittarius. That happens to be my zodiac sign. November birthday, but right now the Dream Team putting up a strong strike against you. The Decahexatress has been sent over to you, but Shen's defense pretty good. He's able to handle that one, and we'll look to bring this down a little bit.
Yeah, so a signature attack of these Area 1 bosses, so whenever you see like a blue boss in this game that signifies Area 1, is what you see right now is the soft drop only attack. So that really limits the speed of these top players, which is really strong. Like, when you want to limit a player like Dormy, who is super fast, right? So a lot of players will pick these Area 1 bosses if they're intimidated by player speed.
Hear those keys getting slammed by
Oh,
Shen
can you hear
there.
it?
Oh yeah, oh I can definitely hear it, man. You are thriving, you are grinding, you are going all hard in, man. I love it. I love to hear it. Is that the preferred method of input for players in TEC?
You know what's cool about TEC or pretty much any like modern Tetris variant is any controller is legal, and there's not really a true benefit of one over the other, which is super cool. So, for example, our top players use controller. Like our fastest players use, I think, an arcade stick controller. But even like the follow-up players are DualShock controllers. We have a lot of keyboard players, like myself. You can actually use the old school NES controller if you can set it up properly, like our players will be doing in our classic showcase later. So anything goes on Tetris Effect connected, as long as you have the equipment.
Gotta love it. As we get set Dream Team starting to get these charged up once again. Shen furiously slamming those keys. Sure, this board is gonna get ready for the defense. 15 lines all put together, 16 lines. Ooh, you can see the supercharge, man. Looking here, Miles is trying to figure out where to put a T piece. Going to join it over, which is a very interesting thing here. You can see that the players, since their boards are joined together at that moment, that they can cross over to one lane over the other, whereas, you know, we're customarily used to just playing on our own single board. I can see Shen handles that one pretty well. Starting to find a way to resolve this quickly. Delayed burn setups, you gotta love it. Whether you play modern or classic or whatever, you see a delayed burn setup. It is glorious to see the thinking process behind it. I love it.
Yeah, and I definitely recommend, like, it can be hard to follow if you're not like how do I put it, like a modern Tetris player versus classic. We don't have that luxury, but when you actually sit down and play for a bit, you will pick up the pattern recognition, and you have a bit of friendlier RNG or an extended piece preview. You'll eventually pick up on how players are able to move so quickly in this mode, because it is a little more forgiving than that classic Tetris rule set.
Yeah, especially when you get those T-spins. I just saw you, Shen, just rock one out. Oh, my word. Another T-spin there, right in the center for Shen, showing off right now.
Uh-oh. Getting a little greedy here.
Just a slight greedy, but at least with the RNG being favorable, that it's a 7-bag, allows you to not have to worry too long, wait for that long bar, because as a classic player, we get a little spicy when we're this high up, but certainly the favorable RNG can be on your side. Look at that delayed burn. Another dirty Tetris there for Shen. He's flying them over, trying to stay alive as this team. Oh, we got, looks like Miles, I believe, is out. He's got a revive up there, which is a very unique, interesting part that's been added to this version of the game, as our players are rising up. Shocky getting way up to the top, as well as Dormy. Man, oh man, Shen, you got them on the run here.
Yeah, except I really need to get a kill here, because I'm towards the top of my board here. I'm playing really aggressive, not defending. I'm kind of going all in a way.
I think it's kind of working, because we got 2 players down now as we're waiting for Miles and Shocky to get revived. Doremi still hanging in strong. Shen, a T-spin down the middle again. That center well is really working for Shen. He's punishing players.
Woo!
And he's got it! Wow,
oh, man.
Shen, tremendous job as the boss here. You've taken down the Dream Team in stunning fashion. Wow.
Yeah, that was a little spooky there, because I kind of did go all in, and the last remaining player was Dormy. If Dormy survived, they might have been able to kill me in that attack, so it came down to the wire there. But yes, I'm sure the Dream Team will make a comeback here in these later rounds, as Dormy will be a boss. Actually, we'll see if they can take on the one and only Greentea, but yeah, that was a fun first game. Or first game
definitely.
for me. Second
Yeah,
game.
no, definitely a lot of fun as a viewer. You know, first time kind of really getting the nuts and bolts down of how the modern game plays. So wow, that was exciting. That was a really exciting ending there, Shen. You great job.
Thank you. So yeah, Team Enhance looking pretty strong here. But up next, we're actually going to have a mode you are most familiar with coming up here, Kingsman, with 2 players I'm sure you're quite familiar with: Sodium Overdose and the one and only Somalian. 2 of my favorite players that have volunteered to take the time to play a wonderful match for us tonight.
Absolutely, yes. So now we're getting into the nuts and bolts of the King likes over here. We can certainly get this one going. Yeah, definitely long-time rivals here, you could say, long-time players of the classic Tetris mode. Sodium has now obviously adopted into the rolling technique and had a great showing at the World Championships just earlier this month. Somalian also was able to make it out there, made it into the top 48 bracket, and it's been a perennial mainstay and is really strong in TEC as well. His classic Tetris, when I've seen him make it to the finals in several events of the World Championships, and he is really strong at this game.
Yeah, are you sorry, were you referring to Sodium? I got annoyed by a player there for a moment, but both players are super strong here on TEC. Sodium can actually roll effectively here on Tetris Effect Connected, which is awesome to see. I don't know if Somalian has ever taken the time to adapt in that sense, but yeah, both players extremely strong, have had runner-up showings in our Tetris Effect Connected World Championship for the classic Tetris brackets, and if you get top 4 in that, you qualify for our grand finale event where you have to utilize every Tetris game mode. So yes, this should be a strong match. Sodium was talking some smack in our player channel. I don't know if you saw that before our stream started. They asked if they could play a better player, and I volunteered to you, Kingsman, as you are probably a better player than Sodium Overdose. But all right, yeah, we're going to hop into this shortly as soon as our players get in here. Also, just I love these player banners, and Sodium with that fist in the air, about to knock out Sodium here. What do you think?
Oh, let's go. Let's see. Again, as I was mentioning, Somalian just seems to be very strong in this CSA mode. I've seen him make it to the finals. I know he had an outstanding match against Kirby in one of the championships. So he is no slouch. He's certainly no slouch. And Sodium's rolling has gotten better and better each time. As mentioned, he had a very strong showing at the World Championships of Classic Tetris this year. So this should be an absolute slugfest between the two. Let's see what they can do.
Ooh, Sodium is suggesting that they have a DAS showdown. I don't know if Sodium is trying to low-key practice for some of the wonderful DAS events coming up, or if they just want to mix it up because we're just having fun here on our showcase. So a DAS matchup could be interesting.
Oh, it certainly could be interesting. I mean, it's the rage these days, right, Shed? I mean, everybody wants to play DAS now. It's making the revival. It's made the comeback and its own events, and we all do have a Classic Tetris DAS couple of championships. We got a World Championship coming up in Germany at the end of July, and then we also have the very first ever, the inaugural Jonas Cup in Portland this September. So a lot of good stuff with DAS happening.
Yeah, I'm super excited for all the events coming up. There's also the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event coming up as well. But this is like the first time I've been super interested. Like, if you are a DAS player, tried and true, like let's be honest, you're going to feel a little intimidated from watching the Miles, the Dogs, the Alex T's of the scene just absolutely crush it, right? So having that limitation of DAS only and just kind of playing into the history of the game is a super cool concept, and I hope to see that thrive moving forward.
Oh, I'm sure it will. There's a lot of people that have been on that train to get it moving back again, and it's more powerful than ever. You know, it may not be winning world championships at an open like that, but it's having its own variants, and the viewership that we've been seeing. I mean, like you mentioned, we just had the kickoff for the best of 99 with Jeff and Shocky, two notable DAS players in the classic scene that brought the house down. Not gonna lie, if you didn't get a chance to watch that, I implore you, go watch their game 9 that they had to kick off week 1. It was outstanding.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. We're just trying to get Somalian in the lobby here. We'll see if they can manage to find us. But once we get Somalian in here, we are ready to go. And it looks like they are going to be doing that DAS matchup where you were talking about. So I'm actually... Have you seen Sodium Overdose play DAS? I'm kind of curious to see how they can throw down.
Maybe back in like 2020
right.
when he first started playing in our friendlies events. But I've always remembered Sodium as a major tapper. And he whipped my butt at the inaugural WPL back in 2021 in Columbus, Ohio. And,
right.
Little plug there for Shen, because I think you got another one coming up this August.
Yes, if you're looking for more information on that, we are going to be doing a CTWC regional here in Columbus, Ohio. I believe we had a recent post to the CTWC Discord. I know we have a lot of Enhanced players in here, but I'm sure definitely reach out to me on the Enhanced Discord if you would like to learn more about that, if you're local to the area or want to make a drive. I will be there. A lot of great Tetris players will be there. And yeah, always looking forward to hosting that. That's kind of the community event that I've stuck with, even though I have been working at Enhance full time. It's cool to have that community feel and people just spreading the word and helping me out, volunteering, etc.
Yeah, no, I think you've done a great job with that. We've considered it now, as far as Classic Tetris is concerned, one of the majors that go on regionally here. You had a great turnout last year. The turnout's just been getting better and better, and I'm looking forward. And you're the only one that's really putting the blend together between the two, classic and modern. And I remember that first event that we went to. You did an outstanding job. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of like a fun little back and forth we had. So I'm looking forward to see what you got this year as we're kicking off game number 1.
I think they picked level 0 for some reason. I don't know if that was an accident. They are welcome to top out. Also, we meant to set this at first to 2. So here, you know what? Players, if you want to top out.
Yes. Sodium confirmed. I did not mean to do that. Exactly what Sodium sounds like.
Yes, and one if you could exit real quick, we'll get the correct setting here and get right back into it.
And I guess while they do that, Shen, if you want to check my audio level again, some fans are saying,
"Oh, sure."
He's a little quiet. I mean, can the king really be quiet? Is that even like an oxymoron?
It could be my mic. It might be really loud. Let me turn my mic down a little bit and turn you up here, and we should be golden.
We should be golden, yeah. When the king starts shouting because he, sees Tamale and top out on level 15 start, then people are gonna be asking you to turn everything back down. All right, sounds like we're perfect now there, Chet.
All right. Well, it is first to 2. We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way and keep playing games. But, all right, so we have Somalian and Sodium Overdose going at it. DAS only, so players agree not to do any of the cheating, rolling, or tapping styles, right? Shout out to one of my favorite players, Moodus. All right, we're going to hop into it here.
Yeah, we've begun. So we've got those level 18 colors that are famous. And, we're going to start off here with a move that's become popular now on Somalian side, the VIT, which stands for Vertical Eye Tuck Setup. Certainly, it's one that a lot of our players these days love to do, Shen. And sometimes a delayed VITs can come back to bite, but Somalian, one of the premier players that will do it effectively, gets away with it and gets a Tetris in to have a 15,000 point lead early days. Yeah,
every time a VITS is set up, the crowd goes wild. Like at a live event when everyone's locked in watching classic Tetris players play, and they see the VITS, I feel like it's always a crowd favorite. Kingsman, correct me if I'm wrong, as with any adjustment. But
correct. In fact, we got VITS groupies now.
Yes.
That's how serious it is, Shout out to J1.
Is there an actual VITS fan club? I'd be happy to join. But
well, we can get you in. Don't you worry about that. In early days here, 33,000 point lead for Somalian through the first 27 lines. A lot of people consider the first 25 lines to be the indicator of how a player's going to go. But yeah, there's Shen going to give that oof. As Somalian had some misdrops along the way. Again, both players are playing with the DAS technique, which is certainly one that Somalian at least probably still plays a bit to this day. Look at that T-spin setup too. No extra points in this version, shit. Oh, look at that, Vince.
Oh, man.
Oh, Somalian, you cheeky SOB. What's he doing?
They're probably trying to appease us. I'm not sure if Somalian is one to listen to the commentators as they play. Not everyone likes to do that, but some people love the style, especially in a showcase match where there's really nothing on the line. Players are here to have fun right now as we celebrate the Tetris 40th. And boom Tetris for Somalian. And look at another VITS from Somalian. Maybe feeling like I've got Sodium on lock with this DAS playstyle. There's no way they can keep up with me. But Sodium is not too far behind here.
Yeah, I think Somalian's trying to go for the VITS world record. Shocky, I think, has it with he had 30 something in one.
Oh my god.
It's something wild. So I think Somalian's trying to find a way to beat that here in our tech version of Classic Tetris, which is certainly one that I have played. As mentioned, Shen and I have duked it out a couple of times. Shen has the bragging rights over me lifetime, but I think I'm going to get back into it. I've seen a lot of players starting to get back into the groove of playing tech, and I'm excited. My SR has probably been reset, so I think I can probably smurf on a few people here, Shen.
Yeah, I mean, we have some tech events coming up for Classic Score Attack in particular as well, so definitely feel free to get in the rhythm, get used to playing on whatever console you're playing on, as Tetris Effect Connect is pretty much on any platform out there, any modern gaming platform. So, yeah, looking forward to hosting some cool events in the future. And yeah, Kingsman, I know you've gotten a lot better at Classic Tetris over the years as you are a big organizer and whatnot. So you might be able to crush me in our next encounter if you ever want to have a friendly.
It is quite possible. I do have a max out under my belt, so that I've gotten that. And Certainly been putting up some good qualifiers lately in some of these other tournaments. Look at this nice tucking setups from Somali, and it's about a 21,000 point lead for a little bit. It was about 300 point lead in favor of Sodium, moments ago, but now Somali able to start getting back in this. But he's waiting for this long bar.
Oh my god.
He'll get the long bars here, Shen, but he had to set out the board now, and this is not going to be. He still has plenty of lines to play with, and I don't know if he was trying to go for a T-spin. Might not have had the setup correct for it, but he's in a little bit of trouble while Sodium is keeping it clean.
Yeah, sometimes people think that the T-spins are missed, sometimes there's just a better option to set that T-piece up vertically, right? But I think in that case, that looked like a missed T-spin. I could be wrong. We'll ask Somalian after if we really need that verification. But yes, this allowed Sodium to get caught up after Somalian had to deal with a lot of cheese there.
Yeah, pretty much about a 40,000 point swing as Sodium is going to hit this Tetris to go to 38,000 point in advance of the Somalian. So the total score is 463 for Sodium, 426 for Somalian. Because Somalian, a lot of kudos. This is why he's made it to the finals of the TEC World Championship. He's certainly a solid player, and as I have mentioned, he's a Classic Tetris League Division 1 player. Has been in there for several seasons, and he's been holding his own against like some of the top players in the world, like a Sodium, a Dog, a Pixelandia, and the likes of that.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was you or somebody else, but I believe Sodium was kind of given the term baby Greentea in the past, right? Because Sodium is just an all-around amazing Tetris player. They can throw down on the modern variants as well, whether it's Puyo Puyo Tetris or Zone Battle. They're considered one of the fastest players when it comes to like some of those games that give you the maximum control of your pieces. So yeah, Sodium is a master of Tetris in my book.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard that name in a while. I think Sodium's done a great job on his own to really make a name for himself. As we go to the level 19 transition, that speed can get a little spicy with a DAS player, especially at this height, but they're keeping it rocking and rolling. It is a 43,000 point lead in favor of Sodium, and if they're going to stay true to DAS here, Shen, then we know we got about 9 more levels left.
Yeah, I guess we don't see Sodium's hand cam right now, so for all we know, they might be pulling a fast one here, but it is looking like they stuck with the DAS, as I saw a wonderful misshift that we always experience as a DAS player, and Sodium is going to top out, so Somalian has the opportunity to get caught up here and has a pretty clean board.
Yeah, unfortunate misdrop there for Sodium that kind of left him in shambles. He had a bunch of long bar flats he was trying to set up, but just could not get the right piece. And look, oh my god, Somalian. Oh, the gall of him to do that. The long bar comes, and he'll take the Tetris to get the game victory. Well done, Somalian. Oh, bit of a memer.
Yeah.
On Sodium, who is quite a memer himself.
That's a move that could definitely cause Somalian to top out if they were not fortunate to get that long bar. Although with clever burns above that Tetris ready area, I'm sure Somalian is able to stay alive there. But yeah, you two are welcome to retry. We'll do... okay, this time they actually exit, so we'll get the setup here.
So, reminder to players, this was a first to 2, so kind of a best of 3, right, Shen?
That is right, yes. First to 2, best of 3. I guess depending on your background, I know modern Tetris players tend to say first 2, whereas classic Tetris tend to have smaller sets, so it's always like best of, right?
Of course, yeah. And some Sodium kind of mentioning that he had his rotation button reversed, so one of the reasons why we might have seen some triple flipping from him or the bad rotation. So he's going to reset his controls there in just a moment. We'll give him some time to do that. But very nice game number 1 for players that were playing with the DAS style that they don't main. So you got to see what that kind of looks like and why. For so many years, Shen, that when we watched Classic Tetris before the tapping era, that their scores in the high 400s to 500 was considered very good. We remember those days.
Oh, right. Yeah, the good old days when we could all compete together with without pouring our life and soul into a crazy playstyle. But at the same time, I love how classic Tetris scene has evolved with these crazy playstyles, right? It brings something new to the game. Those post transitions are always so hype, and the pacing of the game from 18 speed to 19 speed to that 29 speed into that even that double kill screen speed is so awesome and a great thing for classic Tetris.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, no, I think moving forward is the right direction that we needed to go in. But we can always reminisce that Shen made it into CTWC Gold bracket. It wasn't defined that way back then, but it's that way today. So made the top 48 one year in 2019 with the lowest score for qualifying back then was 672, I think, which was Louis Scooey at number 48.
All right, Sodium kind of memeing here, picking 29. Although I guess they would have to... Are they going to draw? Wait, Somalian gets a...
Got a Tetris in, yeah.
Got a Tetris. There's no way they're on DAS right now, are they?
No, he's got to re-roll it. There's no way. Yeah, see, that J doesn't make it over with DAS like that, sorry.
Well, it does go to show that Somalian is able to roll here effectively on Tetris Effect Connected, which is always cool to see. And, all right, takes that game number 1. So they are back to their normal score, and we'll revert to that DAS play style here on an 18th start.
Very nice, yeah. So look at that, Shed. They were being very smart about that, knowing
yes.
it was a first to 2, so they worked it out that way. Intelligent.
Somehow they just had the game sense to know that Somalia would win there. So I don't think they coordinated that. So shout out to our players here.
Yeah, well done. All right, so we're off and running for game number 2. Somalian has the 1-0 lead. It is first to 2, or as Shed mentioned, best of 3 for our classic friends that are watching currently here on the Enhanced Experience. Thank you all for hanging out. We're also live on YouTube, so I see our YouTube friends are over there. They're chatting away there. Good to see Vince Clemente is here, who's asking who approved the cat image from earlier on Shed's thing. See a number of other friends. So good. Thanks for all for watching tonight. We have a special 40th edition, 40th anniversary special for all of you. And that's some trouble here on Sodium's side, Shen.
Yeah, Sodium having trouble getting that far left, able to get that long bar in there, fortunately. I think if they were 1 or 2 rows higher, they would have been forced into a quick tap situation. But Somalian hanging in there really needs to burn down this right side, as you don't have quite the liberties you have to play super high with this DAS play style.
No, certainly not. And you can see Sodium coming up with some nice tricks to get pieces moved over from left to right as quickly as possible. And looks like he's going to be okay. T is going to come perfectly. Lumbar flat, executed brilliantly. Opens it up. Bangarang! There's a Tetris for Sodium. And that wonderful smile he has there, Shen. That's a guy that truly loves playing this game, no matter win or lose.
Right. Yeah, there's some players that have some pretty contagious smiles when they're on the camera, and Sodium is one of them. But and I don't think we'll have a Greentea cam tonight, but Greentea is also up there for contagious happiness, if I may.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, recently we had, as mentioned, Greentea was playing Jeff on a super show we did back in April. Greentea's added the tongue sticking out now as part of his repertoire. Quite a bit. Very Michael Jordan-esque during the match, and caught us by surprise as a crowd. Tongue wagging and stick. Wonderful to see.
Well, Greentea is in the GOAT discussion for one of the better Tetris players of all time, just across the board, right? Of course, you have everyone their own area, but Greentea can throw down a Tetris Grandmaster. Even to the point where they helped to design this multiplayer within Tetris Effect Connected. So, yeah, definitely happy to have Greentea here tonight, and we'll see more momentarily of a Greentea in our team mode.
Our fans will be looking forward to seeing that as we have some complicated boards building. Somalian, oh my word, is he setting up for something really dirty here? Again, the RNG, not favorable. There's a hammering as. Oh, forget about it.
Oh wait, that's Sodium, Sodium with the misrotation on that long bar. Maybe they're trying to style here. If I am.
Oh, he did a Sharky, bro. The reversed.
Oh. Is this gonna
perhaps?
Is this gonna
a little meme? Might be having a little memeing here, Shen.
Oh no. Oh, this could backfire. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, Sodium. What are you doing? Sodium is going to top away. Out. Oh no.
Two burns away from getting out of that one, and the memeing goes back to bite.
Memeing goes too far, and Somalian is our champion of whatever you want to call it, the world championship of June 26, 2024 Classic Tetris event, and or June 28th, excuse me. All right, and we are going to hop into some modern Tetris. So we're going to transcend time from, I believe, 1989 era to 2020 when this Zone Battle multiplayer has hit. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to have some very strong players, so you're going to be in for a world of some craziness, Kingsman.
Oh, let's go. That's what I'm here for. You know, I want to start learning a lot more about the modern game. Had a lot of fun watching those connected battles, and now we're going to have this zone battle with one of the best in the world, perhaps, right? I would assume, as I've heard that name very much touted in the modern scene, Wumbo.
Yes. Wumbo is a very known player throughout the community. At a time, they were one of like the primary, like an early streamer of Tetris, right? Where not many people picked up on streaming, like in early Twitch days, stuff like that, or probably even before Twitch. So Wumbo is a mainstay in our community. They are known to ties their opponents with a combo. They're kind of a combo specialist, but of course, here on Zone Battle, they mostly thrive on some very efficient T-spin setups, which we will see momentarily. So we're gonna get our players into a Zone Battle lobby. And yes, this will be a first of 3, or for you classic Tetris players, a best of 5. And looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Shen kind of guiding me along in that one to call this. It should be a lot of fun. But certainly, Shen, if you have a moment, it seems that this Jaden player is going to make it a very terrifying match. So if you can give me a little background on Jaden.
Yes, so Jaden is, as I mentioned earlier, they are the fastest Tetris Effect connected player, and I believe she probably is close to the Ultra World Record as well, which means like able to get the highest score within a certain period of time. And of course, to get the highest amount of score, you need to move quickly, get as many T-spins as possible, mix in some Tetrises as well to bring your board down. But yes, Jaden is a threat and is, I would say, the favorite in this matchup. But Wumbo can definitely throw down on a good day, can maybe take some games here off of Jaden, if not a set in this first of 3, which is a bit shorter than something like a first of 5, where where a favorite might be more inclined to win, where these shorter sets are prone to more upsets, right? So look at Wumbo there, looking absolutely jacked. I love that jacked avatar banner that we have here for Wumbo. And yeah, as soon as these players...
I've met Wumbo in person, and that looks pretty close to what they look like. So, I mean, that's not a stretch of the imagination there, not going to lie.
Right, yes. That's exactly how Wumbo looks in person as well. A very intimidating, threatening alien species that is based off of a Tetris Friends avatar. All right, so I'm going to give these players this room code, and we'll get started momentarily.
Sounds good. Looking forward to this one. So we'll get to see 2 major stars of the modern world going at it. They'll collide first to 3 best of 5 for folks that know that language. And certainly I'm looking forward to this one. Shen will guide me through as mentioned, but I really want to see, who would you say, Shen, are these 2 rivals in the world of the modern, aside maybe if they've played each other many times, but who would be Wumbo's biggest rival? Who's Jaden's rival these days?
That's a great question. I think in terms of rivalries, just like classic Tetris, a lot of the top players support each other because it's like kind of a niche competitive scene, right? So of course you have rival matchups, or sometimes you even want to play better against your friends, right? Friends could be your rivals as well. And I definitely know Jaden and Wumbo have gone back and forth. Wumbo has probably been a favorite to win Zone Battle in the past, but Jaden has been on the grind, constantly improving. She's getting down the highest scores possible, the fastest scores possible, fastest times possible, excuse me. So Jaden is the favorite here, but in a way, they've played so many games over the years, so there probably is a friendly rivalry going on, as you mentioned.
Excellent.
Okay, I believe we're just getting a webcam set up here, and then we're going to hop right into it. If they even have a webcam. We might be webcamless on this one. Okay, so when you players are ready, I am ready. I believe the King is ready. Are you ready, King?
Oh, I'm ready to go. Let's friggin' do this.
Players are readied up here. Wumbo versus Jaden. It's going to be some high-octane Tetris gameplay. And yeah, let's see what goes down here. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I did provide a zone battle cheat sheet to you, Kingsman, but sometimes the best way to learn is just to watch and play. But yes, definitely the fastest versus mode on Tetris Effect here. Maybe aside from like score attack, late level speed, but yeah, so players are going to open with what we call a 6-3 well. You still see 6-3 wells within classic Tetris as well, where you have that column in either column 3 or 6, just to maximize that speed. There's something called two-step finesse, where you can get the piece exactly where you want to in a short period of time using that stacking method, right? And look at that super fast ultimate tris from Wumbo. Wumbo maybe taking what I said to heart and could take a win here against Jaden.
Yeah, no, it's impressive to see that, but you can see right back there an ultimate tris from Jaden being sent, but you can see the gameplay that he's been double from Wumbo, able to handle that very well, and the T-spin's rated so powerful, right, in this mode, Chen?
Yeah. So T-spins, so unlike classic Tetris, you send attacks to your opponent, right? There may be some other older Tetris games like SNES Tetris where you can actually do that as well. But point being that a Tetris or T-spin double will send lines to your opponent, or even like combos, all clears, etc. And Jaden's actually setting up for a big combo here. Wumbo with some really crucial misdrops during that zone. One of the worst times to actually misdrop is when you set up that zone, because there's so many score bonuses associated with it. So Jaden looking to really get this first dub here. But yeah, there's an ebb and flow to accepting attacks from your opponent, kind of like you're playing tennis, or have some kind of rebuttals like in a fighting game. So this is more akin to like a direct fighting game than maybe classic Tetris, where it's more, of course, you see each other's scores and are going to adapt your gameplay, but you don't have like that direct player attacking you, right? If that makes sense in classic Tetris. So definitely a different beast here.
Yeah, no, and you can see that Jaden gets the upper hand of the first game, sends Wumbo down 1-0, and we continue on. This is game number 2, so we'll see if Wumbo can make the comeback and get back on the board, even it up. Don't want to fall too far behind, as you mentioned. This is kind of a shorter matchup, right? It's the first to 3, where you said usually they play first to 5 and whatnot.
Yeah.
These games look like they go super quick, because the speed of this is insane to watch.
Yeah, it's insane. And I also want to give a shout out here to Jaden, as she is probably, in my opinion, there's a few players out there, I don't want to say they are the definitive most improved player, but they put in a lot of time to get better at this game mode. It's not for the faint of heart, right, to really pick up on all these unique stacking methods available, and just doing it at the speed that they are doing it, right? It's one thing to see a T-spin double setup or see a T-spin setup, and there's another thing to be able to do it on the fly at this speed. And yeah, I think there's a few other players that probably have improved at a similar pace. Shout out to like OSW and other players in the scene. But Jaden going for these massive combos, maybe just as a sign of respect to Wumbo, who is kind of the king of comboing. And look, Wumbo's setting it up right now as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a line spin setup there from Jaden. And I noticed that it has been working with that somewhat center where I got like a column 7 that's been open this whole time, and been setting up these major Tetris attacks. Perfectress done over on the other side there. Well done, but Wumbo ready again to handle it and be on the offensive now.
All right, so we see that 4-wide combo. So whenever you clear a line, you delay accepting any attacks, right? So that's a way to prolong or block attacks. You also begin to diminish or dampen that attack that you receive from the opponent. Either way, look at these stats from Jaden. For you, you may not know how powerful these stats are, but they are some of the best possible. Yeah, Jaden can definitely be a contender to win the whole thing in the future when it comes to zone battle tournaments. There are still those powerhouses in Japan that come away with the wins, but outside of Japan, players are really starting to get caught up and be able to take on some of those big names that are known to Japan, the Japanese community.
Yeah, now you mentioned, we know Wumbo has been around for quite some time. As I mentioned, I recall meeting Wumbo for the first time back in 2021. So how long has Jaden been involved with the modern era?
I may not know that exactly. I met Jaden actually pretty early on in Tetris Effect Connected's release. I remember, I'm thinking like 2018. Jaden was, interacting in the community, trying to get high scores and such. So Jaden is kind of the a swan song, just showing practice makes perfect, as they have been continuing to up their gameplay for, in the time I've known them, for up to like 6 years, right? I don't know how early they started, but they're fairly young too. So I believe when they first started competing in some of our community tournaments, Jaden was only 14. So yeah, these young guns are showing us older players in the scene that they are ready to compete.
Well, there you go. At least that's one thing that you can compare the two, classic and modern, that the young guns are taking. And there you go, another win for Jaden. Going to get the sweep over Wumbo. For maybe some that might not be a surprise, but for me, certainly, wow, shocking.
Yeah, it just goes to show that Jaden has improved immensely over these years, and I think Wumbo knew the strength of Jaden going into this, but as we all love to play super strong, if you are a high-level player, you want to play against other high-level players, right? That's just the name of the game, as you are a true competitor, right? So thank you, Wumbo and Jaden, for taking the time to showcase how crazy Zone Battle can be. And, King, I think after you watching that, I'm sure you could throw down just as hard as they were with that speed and efficiency, am I right?
Absolutely. Yeah, let me get that Xbox controller I have right now, and I'll get right to it. No, I've been watching some of the zone battles. I've got a few friends that have streamed tech late at night over the West Coast that I've been watching, and I find it fascinating. I find it very fascinating. The speed of it is certainly terrifying to watch as an outsider like myself that doesn't play modern that much. But I think I'm going to start getting into it now, Shen. I think you're starting to make me into a believer.
And I do want to stress there's a huge skill ceiling in that game mode, right? When you hop into versus, you are not going to be playing the Jadens, the Wumbos of the community. Don't be too stressed out. You'll be playing against people of similar skill levels. You can have a good old time having your back and forth. Give it another 6 years like Jaden here, who put in the time, and maybe you can throw down with them. But it's a beautiful thing about the game that players can. That's one of the draws of Tetris, is it feels like it's a never-ending experience when it comes to learning the game, with as simple as it is, whether it's classic Tetris or even our modern Tetris variants that may have a few more like strategies or things baked into the gameplay. They still both have extremely high skill ceilings, right? So some awesome games for people that want to continue to learn and continue to build their skill, if that's the kind of person you are.
And certainly there's many people out there. So I think that's what TEC brings to the table for the general public, is that anybody can pick it up, anybody can start getting good and eventually make your way. Just like in any type of sport we deal with, Shen, training is part of the key to get better and better. And you got to put in the time, and that's what these players have done. As you mentioned, like a 6-year journey, perhaps, for some. So that's the time you got to put in if you want to be the best.
Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning for people like myself, we've loved Tetris for decades, some of us, and that's a huge draw, especially as people continue to discover new strategies in the game you're familiar with, classic Tetris. We're still evolving the game so rapidly over these recent years, right? Then I'm just like, is everyone going to be able to just crash the game? Right? How many people do you think are going to be able to crash a game in this next year, Kingsman? I feel like the skill is always rapidly rising. People are learning new strategies, and who knows what's in store for even classic Tetris.
Yeah, indeed. No, there are definitely several people that are on the cusp of starting to make that happen. So we are looking forward to seeing him. Dog theoretically had a crash, just didn't have it enabled on his modded version, so that was one thing that happened. But there's the dogs, there's going to be the Ramations and the Gerald Freemans of the world out there, and many others that are going to have that huge mark made on the scene, and it's just going to get better and better. And obviously the rebirth now is the big talk in the classic scene, trying to get to level 255 and reset the game to back to 0. So that will be something seen. And I don't know if there's something comparable to that in the modern world, Shen. Like is there like something where you get to a certain level and then people haven't reached before? What are like the ultimate goals for players individually?
Yeah, I think in terms of like Tetris Effect Connected, you have the score attack game mode or the master mode. I believe we did have an update with the PS5 launch where master mode is endless now, so you can try to really push the boundaries of the game, whether you're trying to get like post 1,000 lines, or in score attack if you want to try to get to level 34, 35. Those are some of the highest speed levels possible and like highest skill ceiling areas within the game. And then of course on other variants, like a very known game that both classic players and modern players love, kind of that gateway in between, is the Tetris the Grandmaster series, right? And some player only, like, I believe there are probably some game modes in there that have not nearly been mastered, and that game's been out for decades at this point, right? So there are some modern variant game modes that can kind of be related to Rebirth, but I think Rebirth is kind of its own thing in a way. Either way, we're about to get started with our Team Enhanced versus Dormy. Dormy is one of the best modern Tetris players of all time. Just a gamer at heart, too. They're at the top of the leaderboards in some other games, such as Osu. I don't know if you're familiar with Osu, that mouse clicking game. I can't get into it, but Dormy can throw down in that. And yeah, I believe we are ready when Dormy's ready. Dormy's going to be playing the Virgo boss from Area 3, and I'll kind of go through the blitzes there. There is a no-row attack, which you're probably familiar with, Kingsman, where you can't rotate the piece. So it kind of opens up some unique stacking, or sometimes the players are like, I'm not going to even begin to stack with this piece in this situation. But all right, we're going to hop into it.
Yeah, no, I'm very familiar with Dormy. This is a player that I believe is from France.
That's correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, that's probably a little bit late on their end tonight here, but certainly I've seen quite a few, and pretty big, if I recall, Shen, playing Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yes, I believe that's kind of where they first got their love for the game. Dormy, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong in chat, but or at least that was their claim to fame, was probably like Puyo Puyo Tetris, and then Tetris 99 as well. They were a very, very good Tetris 99 player.
See right there, the combining of the fields. That is something I love about this mode, man. That really is the unique thing that kind of draws me to watching this, is that I love seeing when the teams come together and be able to build one giant stack and try to send the attack over against the boss here. But you can see that defense getting built up pretty well by doing it.
Yeah, there's probably no better time to shout out our player and multiplayer lead designer, Greentea, as I feel like this is probably one of the coolest, most unique team modes available in Tetris as a whole, right? And definitely it's something that players of any background like to play within Tetris Effect.
Yeah, and like I said before, we're starting to try to recreate this type of format in Classic now, thanks to the usage of Nestor's Champs that allows us to do such things, like a team battle like that, where 3v1, where we've had a couple of the top players, even our original Game Crasher, Blue Scooty, participated in a 3v1, played against Van Dweller, the CTM owner, Vince Clemente, our CTWC president and owner, and Game Scout. He got to play all three of them, and that went to a decider, surprisingly.
I had no row for too long there, and I missed the piece. But
I was kind of watching that. I was wondering, but here we go. Shen is working very hard. And
yeah,
he is teamed up with Ferox and Greentea, all three of them trying to take on Dormy, the Dream Team, and certainly got to give Shen a lot of kudos here, folks, because he is multitasking. He's trying to put the explanations to jabroni like me that is just learning the modern scene right now, and trying to go up against one of the best players in the world, in my opinion. So wow.
Well, hey, there's something like we say it a lot, like just like with anything that you've practiced over the years, is like riding a bike, or playing Tetris for me is like riding a bike, right? So I'm sure you probably even can do it to some extent. Just when you stream classic Tetris or whatever, you can throw down on the comms or talk, etc. when you're streaming the game to your fans. But yeah, that comes with practice.
See 18 lines getting sent to right on over Perfectress, thrown at Doremy's way. And again, we're back to that scene where you get the one hold and the one next. And again, another unique thing that we don't talk about is that hold functionality that you have here in the modern scene. Like, how often do you put pieces on hold for yourself, Shen?
It depends on the player. I think in this game mode in particular, it's really nice to use hold fairly often because it can almost act like as a second piece preview, right? It allows you to move a little bit quicker, knowing what's kind of in your hold piece queue. So that is one way you can move faster in this game mode, is really utilizing that hold piece. And yeah, as for like something like zone battle, it depends on the player. I personally will use hold a lot. As I mentioned, the same principle applies where you're like, at any moment you may know how to better utilize that piece given you're aware of your stack and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just also just a nice accessibility feature. If you don't know where to place like a current piece, or the current piece doesn't work for you, you can use that hold piece.
Yeah, certainly that is a functionality of this modern version that I'm still trying to learn about. I got some good things here in the chat, some questions here, Shen.
Sure.
You can answer as you're trying to stay alive. Questions are Justin Bailey asking, how do I get connected versus from the menu? It's kind of confusing to me, and Light Rod, helping out that it seems to be it's only a weekend type of mode.
So it's only a weekend mode for the matchmaking. So for the ranked gameplay, because we like to get everyone together at the same time for like a team mode like this, so that the queue is active, etc. But you can still play this mode at any time locally in the multiplayer menu, or oh my god, as I try to say live here, or or in a friend match.
Trying to figure it out. We'll give him a moment here to solve this. He is in a bit of trouble, but again, the RNG favorable with the 7-bag, and there we go, connecting once again. All three team members of Team Enhanced as they're getting set to throw another attack. It's been a very good boss battle here. All three players staying alive. Doremi hanging in there against three outstanding players when you have Shen, Greentea, and Ferox. That is no slouch of a team right there, folks.
Right.
That is like the dream team of Enhanced going at it. There's another shot thrown over to Doremi, a Decahectress on that side, and you can see Doremi handling it like a pro. Going to start trying to burn this down a bit as our friends from Enhanced continue the attack. They're raging on Shen. You get a second breath of life now.
Yeah, I am fortunate, like you mentioned, to have Ferox and Greentea helping me out here as I attempt to multitask here. But one thing to note about this boss is kind of a how do I put it, a defensive boss, less aggressive. So the games can go on for a while because like the no row, as debilitating as it may be in certain situations, it's not like sending you an aggressive attack. So sometimes this boss matchup can take a while if you have the right team playing. As I say that, I am very high on the board and a little spooked out here that Doremi might be able to take me out.
We'll see if Shen can hang in there. They got to square over to the left side, and T and the Z piece don't really line up with the board. But again, with this 7-bag RNG, can find a way to make it work squares here and rise it on up. And there's Shen gonna take a hit. He's gonna be out. You are in the revive mode, sir. So why don't you explain how do you get revived and able to get back to this game?
Yeah, so it kind of becomes a little bit of a rhythm game. If you can see that red circle like closing in on the center there, every time that happens, I want to hit a rotate key. And so far, so good. I have not missed a beat, but and you can see my horse avatar appearing every time there. So I'm about halfway. And then one fact about this too is that Ferox and Greentea can go for T-spins and Tetrises, and it'll actually speed up the revival time.
Oh, see. So, yeah, I was wondering if like it was an element of the team play that would able to have them find a way to get you back in quickly. So, makes sense. Very, very similar to like some of these shooter games that you play where player goes down. I used to be a big Gears of War main back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And so when player gets down, you gotta have someone come over and revive them. So I was wondering if it was similar to that in retrospect. So it looks like you're about to get back in here. Very close.
All right. And if I manage to keep a low board here, that'll actually strengthen our attack. If you can stack from the very bottom when you enter that connected board mode, it will amplify the strength of the attack. So in a way, some teams will actually strategize if they're big brain and like top out intentionally for that reason, if they know the kind of boss they're playing against. So maybe I can really help out the team here if I clutch it out or move quickly.
And that's another important part of the mode here. You're relying on all your partners as well. So can be slightly difficult if you're playing with people all over the world. And that's why you probably would encourage to play with friends and be in the VC with them, so you can kind of strategize a little bit against bosses.
Yeah, it's super fun to play in the VC. We do host in our Enhanced Discord, if you're looking for a more social experience. Every other Saturday, we host a full moon hangout, and the crux of that full moon event is the connected versus matchmaking being unlocked and ranked, right? So definitely encourage people, if you're looking for that social Tetris experience, to come stop by and hang out with us, play some teams.
By far, this is the longest match we have seen so far. So give kudos to Doremi handling these 3 all-stars of the Enhanced universe as they are sending another shot. Oh, that was a shot and a half there.
Oh my
Doremi
God.
staying alive barely. My word, that one was way at the top. Beautiful T-spin hit by Doremi. We are frantically trying to bring this down as Team Enhanced looks to try to get another knockout blow.
I cannot believe Doremi survived that.
This is one of the reasons why Doremi is considered one of the best in this game, and certainly proving it tonight. Wow, what a shot that was from Team Enhanced, but Doremi, like a pro, keeping it together. Center well, bang! There's a Tetris for Doremi.
My heart sank a little bit when I realized we did not win, as I kind of early celebrated there. But yes, Doremi doing the exact right thing at the right time to survive there. Very nicely played.
Shocky is certainly rooting on for Doremi. Wow, great survival. You can see a lot of the T-spin setups being done by Doremi. Those hammer home some big points and try to stay alive, try to force our Enhanced team to maybe get a little bit more aggressive. You notice players are about the same height now. Shen a little bit higher than his teammates, but the plan seems to have been working, Shen, to play a little low and let them do the work. I think it's working out for you guys.
Yeah, I think in this boss in particular, try to keep your board as low as possible. Of course, if you misdrop, that can make things harder, but yeah, so far so good, especially for my teammates here, helping me out. You know what I like about team games, Kingsman, is I feel like I don't want to let Greentea or Ferox down here, right? Like, there's something about that team play element, especially in a game I love so much like Tetris, that kind of gets me hyped, and I always want to play better for my team rather than if I play for myself, like, no big deal if I lose, but I don't want the wonderful Greentea to lose, you know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, you don't want to have to take the burden on your shoulder that Greentea's going to call you up later and tell you that, you lost because of you, right? That you got to take the L there. It's like, it wasn't me, it was you, damn it.
Yeah, Greentea may no longer want to talk to me as my Enhanced coworker if I fail.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, that would be like absolutely devastating. Imagine Greentea, the nicest person on earth, is mad at you. My God. Here we go. You can hear Shen frantically getting those keys. Doremi staying alive. This has been a hell of a match, folks. This boss battle is certainly draining to watch, but I can only imagine the fingers for our players here, because Shen, I hear him banging on those keys so much. Talk about the endurance for this, Shen. Like what you mentioned, some of these can go quite a while.
Yeah.
The endurance you have to have for this.
Yeah, this boss in particular, if you have a strong boss and a strong team who doesn't really succumb to like the non-aggressive nature of this boss, it can go on for a long time. So we did have some short matches earlier, so this will make up for that for sure.
Absolutely. This is well worth it.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Those stacks
top
get
out.
risen again. Shen is going to be done yet again. Greentea pretty high up, too. We'll see what he can do. You can see Greentea kind of slowing the pace down a little bit on his side there, Shen, just so you can give him some time to figure out how does he want to handle this survival.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw, but Ferox in the middle was waiting to drop that Tetris until I was in revival mode, just because they know it's going to speed up the process.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Greentea going to have a top out as well. He's done. He's going to be in revive mode. So Shen going to have to now try to frantically hit those beats quickly and maybe have Ferox help as much as possible. Doremi, my God, left well solutions are going over. Wow, what a show Doremi's putting on here, Shen.
Yeah, and Doremi's probably like, I'm so happy right now that they're having trouble here, because this allows Doremi to enter defense mode a little bit more than usual and like really bring down those unclearable lines, right? That way they're going to be under less pressure to defend another big zone attack like we managed to do in that last team mode.
Yeah, and especially if you're Doremi, you want to try to get that done quickly, because Shen and Greentea getting close to revival. You can see looks like Greentea's about 75% of the way there. Shen a little bit under that. They are trying to work frantically here, so if you're Durham, you really want to try to end this before the two of them get back in. Ferox taking some time, relaxing here, setting up that T, or perhaps a tuck, maybe a T-spin opportunity set up in a little bit. You can kind of see there it was. And
so the players are certainly going to want me to revive here. If you can see how close the meter is, if all three players are in the zone, it really amplifies the attack that we will send to Dormy. So the players are being really patient here, and hopefully I hit all my claps so they're not disappointed in me.
Moments away from coming back here.
Yeah, kind of scary for Ferox here in the middle.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's getting a little scary. Then also Greentea got a little bit up as well as Doremi continues to just pound it up. Shen is back just in time here. Woo.
Oh my god. And Ferox still has to survive for a moment in the middle here.
Oh, trying to figure out where to put the Z piece, and
Oh.
getting a little scary. We are going to connect here. That will certainly help because that allows Ferox to get that Z over to Shen's side. Beautiful play. And now the team will look to try to hit hard. Man, definitely best match of the night so far. This has been a grueling game. No wonder it's only a 1-1. Oh
Yeah.
God.
We would be here all night otherwise.
Max damage according to Light Rod.
Oh my god, that was
Send
huge.
over.
Okay.
Big time shot. Send over. That'll help. Jeremy back in cleanup mode.
So I'm kind of learning from these previous attacks from Dormy. I'm going to kind of play as low as possible, not always going for Tetrises or overstacking, so that I don't hinder my team, and we can get to that team phase as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I just noticed, obviously the no next box you had for a moment there was the attack sent by Durami. All three of your players on the enhanced team kind of taking their time, slowed it down a little bit, just waiting for that to kind of phase out to allow you to get that next piece of view. Very smart move since you were all low on the board. Well done.
As I overstack. It's just a habit. We all want to play aggressively in this game, as you may be able to relate. With the sometimes it's too hard to turn down a Tetris and not take those burns.
No, totally understandable, and especially when a match like this is going on this long, you want to try to play a little bit aggressive, try to move it along to help you get to the end at some point, or take a quick advantage and maybe stun Duremi.
Oh man. So no row, not the best solutions for myself right now, so I'm just kind of waiting it out, hopefully.
Yeah, you can see all three enhanced players doing exactly that, just kind of waiting it out, so that way you can just survive. And now the rotations are back, no next box again affected, so players are just going to have to do their best. And Shen again up high.
Oh no, misdrop.
Shen, talk about the difficulty right now for you that you don't have the next box to look at, and you're up at this height trying to survive. Another no rotation.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm toast.
Oh man, tough break there for Shen. He's out again. Sure, if we had camera on Greentea right now, he'd be giving you a stink face.
In a way, it could be beneficial that I am a little bit staggered here, just in case Greentea runs into some issues with Ferox. We can kind of like cycle a little bit. Well, King, if this match goes on for a while, at least I get to be joined by you, and we have some extra time together, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, I felt like this night was going way too fast.
Yeah.
Got, sweeps in a couple of matches here, and the one match for some of these connecteds have gone a little bit fast. This one has been intense. This one has been quite a sensation. For a first-time viewer watching how Connected goes and commentating it, man, this is a lot of fun. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and different bosses, different strategies for players. So definitely a favorite of a lot of our Tetris Effect Connected multiplayer fans. And then, yeah, spectating it is probably a bit different than any of the other game modes, right? There's just so many unique things going on that no other Tetris mode really has in store.
Yeah, certainly. No, I think that's what makes this unique, and it was a big attraction when this was first updated and released. So I think this is a great mode. I can see why people are excited to try and get involved in this, and it's a perfect type of mode to play with friends, as we mentioned before. Getting the VC, challenge the bosses, whether it's local mode with another friend or versus the PC, the AI, whatever you want to call it. It's something for everyone, and that's why tech is certainly high regarded.
And yeah, it's worth noting, if you want to practice this game mode, the AI in this game is actually pretty strong if you're looking for a challenge. So whether the AI is the boss or or helping you out on your team, they're actually very strong on the team side as well if you want to try practicing some boss. Yeah, don't be afraid to try it out in that local mode.
Yeah, certainly not. Shen is making his way up, slowly but surely. He's reviving.
Tell you what, Greentea and Ferox are carrying me right now, and if we manage to get myself alive here, we're close to that team zone, and if we have as strong of zones that we have had in the past here, we might be able to take out Dormy, who is in defense mode, probably realizing the same thing.
Yeah, so why don't you talk real quick, Shen, while you're getting close to revival here, that defense mode, it's an important part of the game for the boss, but how can they turn the defense into the offense quickly?
So yeah, there's a button for zone in the game, kind of, to activate zone, whether you're playing journey mode, some of our effect modes, or zone battle. That same button switches you to defense mode, and when you're in defense mode and clearing lines, it brings down that unclearable garbage, right? So you can dictate when to send attacks to the team, or when you decide when's a good time to defend. A good time to defend as this boss in particular is when that no row is active, just because you want to leave on that attack as long as possible before switching to something else, right?
Love it. Shen is getting real close to getting back.
They're waiting for me.
They're waiting for Shen. They want to tag him in. They're going to look to see if he can really bring down the house. They want to connect. Come on, Shen.
Well,
if you got it.
We're going to have a really strong zone if I do get in, because, like I said, I'll be at the very bottom of my board, which is going to amplify that attack once again.
So close to getting back in there, so we were waiting with bated breath for Shen's return. His teammates stalling as long as they can. Doremi getting this board back all the way down, somewhat to the bottom, so can be prepared for that big attack.
Let me in. There it is.
Let him in. He's back now. Shen really ready to go back into full force. Team up. Get that zone connected.
So I'm just hard dropping pieces to catch up a little bit. And all right, this is going to be pretty strong here, Kingsman. But Dormy managed to get nearly to the bottom of the board. They have only one line.
That revival time took a little too long. They're going to be doing a great job. Players are connected. They are building their lines. They are getting set to give a strong attack. Try to get Jeremy back up to the top. And doing the right thing, just keeping everything nice and low, prepared for this bomb that Shen, Greentea.
427?
Oh my God. My word. And Ferox just threw right there.
This is actually a pretty crazy match. So
I would say I'm very lucky to be able to see this one. I was like, oh, these are not so bad. This is great. Now this one is a marathon that we're running. This has just been back and forth heavyweight action. I love it.
And apparently I can't learn. I keep overstacking. It's just I love to do it so much. I need to temper my aggression a little bit.
Yeah, I read and mentioned there was only a Perfectress when you guys sent that over, not an Ultimatress, so no kill on that one. Cranky Hero 72 in the chat over on Twitch wants to know what's the record for the most lines in a single zone in connected or connecting versus, and I believe it's 34 lines.
Yeah, I might need some help on that one. I'm sure there's some video out there. That would be a fun thing to track. The thing is, we only got a 19 there. If we got a 20, or you can get a 21 Curvtress or above still in connected, so actually there's some ways to even get above a 25, and we have a very Special name for that one. Called a WTF Tris Kingsman, if you want to go for that someday.
Oh, wow.
All right. That was a lot of bump ups there. Even Greentea and Ferox are in some trouble.
Yeah, that one, again, Shen is done, and as mentioned, Greentea and Ferox in trouble at the top. They're going to look to find their way back down. Oh, man, getting risen up a little bit. Oh, my word. Greentea's going to fall here. Ferox hanging on by a thread, and that'll do it there, too. Ferox is finished. Oh, Dormy. No wonder you're considered one of the best in the world.
Look at the match time on that. 23 minutes of endurance. And thank you, Ferox and Greentea, for trying to carry me with my 19% contribution there. But what a match. And the Dream Team is on the board, Kingsman, as they take the win against Team Enhance.
Yeah, big win right there for the Dream Team. They were kind of down 0-2 from the first connected versus matches that we saw earlier tonight to open the show. And looks like we got one more connected versus, and if you're gonna really win this one, Shen, you got the right person to do it. It's Green.
Yes, our final boss, and still to this day, in my opinion, one of the final bosses of Tetris. So we were going to have the Dream Team versus Greentea. I think Greentea can really excel in this one-piece preview in terms of moving quickly, as they tend to stack instinctually. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup, and this will be a great way to kind of end our series. We've been doing Tetris Effect Connected, or Tetris 40th showcases for 2 weeks now. So a great way to top it off with our final boss, Greentea, here. And we'll see if the Dream Team has what it takes.
Yeah, we'll certainly see. I mean, if you're gonna put anybody in there, Greentea is the one that can win it all for you. What a way to go out. The final boss, as Shen mentioned, megastar in the world of the TEC, and of course a classic Tetris all-star without question. First Battle Hall of Famer in my book. Greentea still dabbles in the classic. He's been having some great wins recently in the friendlies that we've been doing. He's 3-0 in friendlies. He's beaten Heps, who was at one time one of the best DAS players in the world, highest ranked ELO back in 2021, I believe it was. Then he played Shocky and defeated him in an outstanding best of 5 set. I implore you, that's on YouTube. You guys can go watch that one. Game 5 was stellar. And then just beat Jeff recently in our once in a lifetime match. And word is that you mentioned, Shen, that we have the best of 99 currently. Cheap plug here. We have a series going on, best of 99. That's 99 games all summer long between Jeff and Sharky. They are going to play 9 games over an 11-week period. We just did our first round this past Wednesday, and looking to have our next one potentially next Wednesday as well. And they've been going all the way through the summer as they prepare for the DAS Cup that we have going on in Portland at the end of September. And rumor has it that whoever wins that one probably going to get the rematch with Greentea.
Ooh, I am looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm also just going to be watching it because, like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be there's a lot of like DAS competition. So when we say DAS, it stands for delayed auto shift, and it means like when you're holding left or right on that old school NES controller, just kind of using the built-in speed of the game. And that itself presents a lot of challenges and like a rhythm necessary to execute moving your pieces correctly, right? So really looking forward to those competitions, and it kind of plays into the true spirit of the game design of Tetris, right? And it looks like all our players are ready. Miles found their way here. Miles, Dormy, Super Shocky is the Dream Team looking to take on Greentea, who's even using the final boss of Tetris, or of this game mode, the Tetramidian. So let's check it out. Okay, and this boss, any attack can happen. So we're going to be seeing a whole slew of attacks. It's kind of there's a trade-off here. So even though that any attacks can happen and you can't really prepare for it, it takes a little bit longer to charge these attacks, right? So even though the Dream Team may not know what kind of like attack combinations will be coming here from Greentea, they can at least have they'll at least know that attacks won't be happening as frequently.
Very interesting. Yeah, I saw the first attack here was a Trimino that was thrown at them. So the long bar was only 3 tall instead of the 4, which was very interesting to see. Don't really see that too often in class. You have to kind of mod the game a little bit to make that happen. But certainly, you're looking for those Tetrises, then you don't get them with that 3 tall long bar.
And something that you may have picked up on is that the blitzes level up over time, right? So that Trimino you saw, it starts out like a little easy to deal with, like we'll call it like a level 1 Trimino attack, right? But the longer the boss survives and is able to charge these attacks over time, the more difficult it becomes to deal with those. We actually saw that with Virgo. With the no rotation, it's actually harder to deal with it because it gives you some more of those like horizontal only options rather than horizontal and vertical. Yeah, especially on this Tetramidian. If you can level up the Tetramidian attacks, it will be very hard for this team to deal with. And look, Greentea has that speed here, even with that One Piece preview, and generally one of our faster players in the game.
Oh, well, certainly. I mean, that is no shock there. We've seen that. He is certainly stellar with this, and very knowledgeable about the game. And look at that, you can see this ginormous piece over on Miles' side. That was a huge Z piece. Oh my word, this is pretty crazy. This is certainly a crazy boss we're dealing with. Oh my word.
Yeah, that's part of the scary part about playing in this boss. Sometimes like Tetramidian gives you like some really weak combos. You're like, oh, that's no big deal. But Miles there having to deal with some craziness. Especially the giant pieces, because there's this boss called Taurus where if you know the giant pieces are coming, you can kind of stack accordingly, right? Like have these flat stacks, and you can even stack the giant pieces together knowing that it's going to be coming up. But when you play against this Tetramidian, it will just hit you like a truck if you don't know it's coming. So Greentea really putting on some pressure here.
Yeah, certainly in that mode to do that, really got to try to bring it home for the enhanced team. Just want to let the dream team sort of tie it up for the night. I mean, if somehow the dream team pulls this off, you'll be 2-2 in the connected versus. I mean, Shen, you don't have to go to maybe doing a cider. I mean, come on, right? You can't leave that.
Oh, that's a good point. Good point. Maybe we'll have to move that. Oh, well, as much as I'd love to do it tonight. Well, we'll see. We'll see how we're all feeling here. But yeah. Either way, the team is moving pretty quickly here. Has a nice clean board. Super Shock. Using their height advantage, we can see a lot of red pieces there because they were stacked a bit higher there and able to now utilize their height to help out their teammates fill in their side quickly.
I want to give a shout out to our friends from the Classic Tetris channel with a raid party of 282 people. Wow. Ooh.
Welcome in.
Oh, folks, welcome in. Yeah. Oh, man, there's a Perfectress shot over to Greentea's side, but guess what, Chet? He was ready for it.
Yes, for those of you tuning in, we have the legend Greentea going at it. Our final boss of Tetris Effect, the Tetramidian, going against Miles the Great, who is likely no stranger to a lot of our classic Tetris fans. Dormy, a modern Tetris powerhouse, and Super Shock, our recent TEC WC champion, back-to-back champion, actually. So we'll see if Greentea has what it takes. And for the sake, like you mentioned earlier, Kingsman, if Greentea wins here, that means we are up 3-1. No decider necessary. We can call it wraps, as Enhance is still the king of the community, right?
Of course, right. You have the bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Shen kind of secretly rooting for Greentea because he didn't figure out if we need to do the cider here. So here we go. We have T-spins afloat from our man Greentea. Miles is trying to handle this board. I got to give credit here to Miles. He's been kind of playing up the majority of the time here, Shen, but you can also see that he's just taking his time, right? He's not moving as fast as some of the others, like we're seeing Jeremy and Shocky moving things very quickly. Miles is just taking his time and just doing kind of the strat you were doing a little bit, right? Just holding out and let them do the work and make sure that he can not top out. But there you go.
We'll tell you what. Miles could be big brain and maybe topping out intentionally just so they can get a revive in here. And sometimes that is the right way to do it. Like, if you know you're going to top out at some point, it might not be worth it just to only clear a couple lines and build that zone. So Miles may be intentionally topping out, which is actually the right call. And given that Miles doesn't always play this game mode, just a pretty good foresight or understanding of the game.
Go. So Miles getting his revive going on. Be a little while before we see him back in action. Jeremy and Shocky gonna have to team up. Keep it going. Wait for Miles to get back. As Chen had mentioned, we have seen back in our previous match that went 23 minutes long, for those that can even fathom that in a Tetris match. And look at that, they were revived, and we got invisible mode going on. That was crazy.
Ooh. Yeah, some players thrive a little bit better than others in this invisible mode. Have you had the chance to ever try invisible Tetris, Kingsman? It can be brutal.
Most certainly not. No, I did not want to ever do that type of harm to myself there. Crazy to see. Shocky ended up being too high and has fallen as a casualty to it. But Miles is back. He's getting in the saddle, keeping that board nice and clean. Dormy doing Dormy things.
Oh, that fill-in on Dormy's side was brutal. He set up for a T-spin triple, like... Oh, look at that fix, though. That was crazy.
Wow, that was nuts. I didn't even see that until the fill-in. Tremendous job. I mean, folks that are from our classic Tetris channel that you're watching this.
I'm pretty good with my spins, and I did not see that solve.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
And you can see we've got Shocky back in quickly. They are on the attack. And here we go. Connection being made. And our three players are ready to start building and prepare for the attack. Greentea, though, all the way back at the bottom. He'll be ready for the defense.
Yeah. Kind of it worked out that Super Shocky brought their board back to the bottom. If you start when it shows, you see where it says 4 lines right now. If you start this board and it just shows no lines, that's going to really amplify your attack if you get to the high or get that 19 or 20 attack. So kind of works out that Super Shock revived when they did, and we'll see if they can put some pressure on Greentea, who is not holding back here. Greentea is really showing respect to these players and seeing if they can take home a win.
Yeah, certainly. We got 15 lines, 16 lines built up. We are still building. The shot being thrown, a Decahexatress over onto the right side. The defense prepared. Greentea ready to handle it as our 3 Dream Teamers continue to battle through and look to try to send this to a potential decider. But you're playing the final boss, and it ain't going to be easy. I wonder if they're going to try to see if they can top the 23-minute battle we just saw with you involved with Dormy.
Yeah, by the way, Dormy, who has played a lot of Connected Versus, saying that was probably one of the most insane Virgo matches they've ever played, Virgo being the boss they were using. So Dormy, yeah, everyone that got to watch that insane endurance match was in for a treat there. But Greentea, you know what? I don't think I've had the chance to watch Greentea play this mode a whole lot, and it's kind of interesting to watch because, you know, being a lead designer on the game, they may think of some like ways to play the game that no one... or they may be more in tune with what may be the most efficient way to play the game. So if you're trying to pick up on some strategies, definitely want to watch Greentea a little bit here, who is really utilizing those T-spins even with that one-piece preview.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've been watching a lot of the Greentea just because it's always a treat to watch him play. Mm-hmm. And, you know, for classic players that are used to watching him and you seeing how fast he is at this game mode, you're just left mesmerized, like wondering, like, how does he do it?
And this is a Greentea. Actually, I think Greentea has been playing a little bit more recently. Ever since we've been doing this, I think Greentea is realizing again, like, oh, this game is pretty fun, and was practicing with some other Japanese players recently. So we are seeing a stronger than usual Greentea. The longer Greentea has to pick up on a new, or to get back into the groove when it comes to Tetris, like, the crazier it becomes to watch them, and they're really throwing down here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm loving this. Again, like I mentioned, the last match that we saw with you involved in that Connected Versus battle, these have been a lot of fun to watch, man. I'm becoming a big fan now. I'm really gonna have to start putting the chops in. I'm gonna have to turn that TEC back on and let's go. I need to start throwing down.
Yeah, let's team up, Kingsman. We can get some other commentators or someone to join us. Maybe a Chris Tang, a Sharky, whoever it may be. I saw Vince in the chat. Vince, if you want to throw it down with us.
Oh well, Vince, no, he would just throw it down on himself. Forget about him, man. He's good.
So
there we go. We got a connected made here again as our heroes, the Dream Teamers, are trying to get this big win over the final boss. Big shot about to be laid down. This could be huge.
Yeah, this is looking to be a pretty strong attack. I'd love to see somebody getting a 20 or above on this connected zone is very difficult, even like with the best players in the world, right? Like, who can normally hit these even in zone battle. But 1v1 zones are a different beast. It's harder to predict or know how to build those team zones.
Yeah, nice shot thrown over that way. Got the board up higher on Greentea's side, but again, he is prepared for it. He is bringing this down. He is.
Uh-oh.
doing Greentea thing.
A bit unfortunate with that sequence from Greentea. I think they want to bring it down a little bit. You are going to want to attack still at this point, because if you let the team go unchecked, they are going to be moving and grooving and building that zone faster than you would like. So I think Greentea recognizes this and is, even though they're not comfortable necessarily attacking up this high, it's kind of like your only option at this point.
He's setting up those center wells, the T-spins.
Ooh, almost had that perfect clear. That would have been really helpful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we haven't seen one tonight, I don't think, here, Chef. So.
With that being said, Dormy kind of under some pressure here. And is that a no rotation? So yeah, these players, that's really helping out Greentea right now, who wants to bring their board down and play so that they can play super aggressive here.
We got the one-piece preview going on hold in the next box. Greentea was holding a long bar and then quickly used it once he saw the opening for it.
Oh man, this is getting really close, Kingsman. Greentea is going to want to try to get a kill here on either Miles or Dormy to really slow down the zone charge here from the team. And then, like, after that, Greentea can one of two options: likely try to go for the kill, or maybe play it safe and really bring their board down, knowing that they might be able to revive.
Yeah, certainly interesting strategy. Miles is going to take the fall here, so that is exactly what Jen was talking about, looking for either Dormy or Miles to fall here. Dormy certainly not going to be an easy one to take out.
No, not at all.
And look at Dormy. Oh my word, Jen. How do they do it?
Dormy is one of the most clutch players in this game. As we saw earlier with that insane spin. Yeah, Dormy is one of the best players of this game mode altogether. So really helping out this dream team.
Yeah, most certainly. No, this is crazy. Oh my word.
Although Greentea gets that much needed kill. And
oh my, wow, that just came out of nowhere. I didn't see that.
Super Shocky doing surprisingly well though. I think there's enough room for Miles to get revived here. And like I mentioned, like, what does Greentea want to do? Like, do they want to try to go for that kill? It can be pretty hard to make that decision on the fly, but perhaps over time here they'll make an executive decision. Looks like they do opt for a little bit of defense.
Yeah, I can see that defense starting to get built up here on the right side for Greentea. Notice Shocky playing a little bit slower, trying to see if the revives get back in to give the players time.
Yeah, while Super Shock was on that blitz, which is kind of like a little more throttling to how fast you can play, right? That's a great time to decide to defend, because you don't want to like override that attack, if that makes sense. Just knowing that Super Shocky's not going to be moving at all. So typically, any kind of attack from the boss that forces your team to play slower, you might want to sit on that a little bit, build up maybe an attack chain if you are the boss, like stack some Tetrises back to back, so that you can get a really strong follow-up.
See Dormy back in, and Miles has also followed in. So they're all back, and invisible is what we get to start for Dormy and Shocky.
We are in for another treat of a match here. It just so happens that the Dream Team and Team Minhas are pretty neck and neck in terms of skill. So yeah, like a neck and neck matchup can go for a while here, and especially this boss. I don't think we've seen some super long Tetramidian matches, so this is super cool.
Yeah, I guess another, kind of tells you how thought out Greentea is to be able to use this boss in particular, and just how efficient he can be. My word, incredible what we're watching here, Shen.
Yeah, and I think Greentea's choice to bring their board down rather than trying to get a kill on Shocky was the right move. As I mentioned, I like to play aggressive, and I might have tried to go for the kill on Shocky, but look at this. Greentea's at the bottom of their board, and after seeing how clutch Shocky has been and how quickly they were able to revive, I think defense was the right move. So Greentea is 3 lines up. Let's see how low to the bottom. So 6 lines. It will dampen their attack a little bit because it's not 0 lines, but I think Greentea will have a chance to survive. But as these, the longer the match goes on, the stronger these team zones are becoming, right? So I think Greentea is aware. Hopefully they can get as many Tetrises and T-spins as possible here to block this incoming attack, and doing a nice job so far. Not too many misdrops.
Yeah, keep that board nice and low, and the T-spins shooting on down. Very well done by our legendary player, Greentea. Shots fired over there. Perfectress this time, and that got Greentea up a little high. See how he handles this, Shane.
Yeah, this is a tough call. You're really high on the board here. Playing with fire. I think Greentea understands that this is like when the team, look how fast this team is moving when they're not under pressure, right? So Greentea does want to, as soon as they can, send one attack. And yeah, it looks like they switched to attack mode. I think they're aware of it. If they're fortunate, they'll come across something that'll throttle this team so they can defend a little bit longer. What do we get? We got twins. Not the best roll there. Twins are a little hard to stack, but I think that was a good roll for the team.
Yeah, certainly. This is something I haven't seen before. That was a new one. I haven't seen the twins, but what an interesting boss we've got here, and it seems like Greentea is using all the tricks of the trade to be able to keep this going. This match, I think they're really fighting to surpass that 23-minute match that we had just moments ago. So wow, the endurance test again, Shen, is it's got to be high if you're gonna play these modes.
Oh, here's a no rotation. This is a great opportunity for Greentea to Oh, maybe they're playing super aggressive, just knowing that, like, hey, I'm not going to be able to bring this board down. Maybe in a way, they're probably almost in like the all-in state of mind where it's like, I have to get this kill right here, right now. I won't be able to survive this next attack.
Stable thrown out there now. You can see like those pieces are like hellish fire red being sent in. My word, that is crazy to look at.
Got a hide field. Dormy is not hindered by this. Look how quickly they're able to stack in this invisible.
That's insane. That's really insane to look at.
Greentea is going to want to try to get Miles out as soon as possible. Oh, that bump up is very nicely timed.
That'll take Miles out of this one.
Oh, this is the first time we saw this. That's called squeeze. You can only stack. It kind of limits where you can stack a little bit. And Dormy, these players keep running into some really difficult blitzes to deal with. So although the players had some pretty friendly things to deal with at first, like this recent attack chain is brutal, and Greentea is putting on a lot of pressure here.
Yeah, no. I think Greentea's getting to a point where he's like trying to find the end here. He wants to finish them.
At the same time, this is like Greentea can't misdrop. It's pretty nerve-wracking watching this because one misdrop and they're going to be slowed down really slowed down, or they can even just lose the game outright.
All those giant pieces right now, Shen.
Oh my god. Oh, Dormy's out.
L. Yeah, that big L was so difficult for Dormy to figure out where to put that, and then just too late.
Okay, so Super Chalk has to deal with speed, and this leveled up, it gets very fast as it... Oh, okay. Yeah, Greentea's just going for this kill. They're trying to get as many bump ups as possible. They don't... they're like, I'm not even going to let Shocky sit on this. I'm just... Oh, and Greentea takes it. No decider here, Kingsman. Team Enhance is up 3-1.
Shen with a fist pump there at the house.
I did fist pump. I don't know if you saw my camera, but my camera is on somewhere, so I did fist pump, and you had the you felt it. You didn't even have to see it. You knew I fist pumped there.
Your fist like pierced the wind in the air there. I heard it all the way back home in New York. Crazy finish to that one. Greentea, the final boss, finishes off the Dream Team. Wow. What a match there. I didn't catch the time on that one.
Yeah, what was the time? Did anyone catch that? I was too busy celebrating.
About 20 minutes. Yeah,
okay.
About 20 minutes. So just short of the 23-minute match we had right before that.
Those were some great team games.
1935 to be exact. Thank you, Andrew.
And I see Miles in the chat. Definitely a shout out to Miles throwing down on this connected mode alongside the Legends Dormy and Super Shocky here, really bringing it. That was a crazy battle, and Greentea is no slouch. Probably after watching that, they still probably can be considered one of the best bosses in the game and is the final boss of Tetris. So very close attempt. You guys almost had it there as the dream team.
Yeah, no, great job by those three. I mean, again, all of them outstanding players in their own right in all the different variants. And kudos to Team Enhanced to pull it home and save Shen from having to figure out a decipher.
Yeah, you put some pressure on me. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. If we're 2-2, maybe we should have some kind of tiebreaker. But yes, Greentea alleviating that issue there and taking it home. So let's take a look at our matches tonight, just to recap. Here is our scoreboard. So yes, we managed to take out Super Shocky. I managed barely to take a win there in that game too. Of course, we had a wonderful showcase. Thank you to our 1v1 players for that halftime show, Sodium versus Somalian, and Wumbo versus Jaden, showing some of the highest level gameplay available in Tetris Effect. And then, finishing it off with what Dormy said is one of the greatest Virgo matches they've played using that boss. And what a crazy game to finish it on, too, with Greentea fighting for their life, deciding when to go all in there and really bring it to the dream team. So what a slew of matches there, Kingsman, and I think it was a pleasure having you. I know this is your first kind of like Tetris Effect connected ordeal with me, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it certainly was, man. I want to thank you for inviting me to join in. This was definitely a lot of fun. You got me as a believer now. I got to watch these great players in action, the connected portion. I loved it. You know, again, we're kind of being inspired by that now in the classic world, where we're doing those like 3v1 type of matches. So even though they don't have that same flavor of the connection and that great back and forth that happens, still, we're inspired by what you guys are doing over at Enhance and TEC. So thank you so much for doing that, and it was a pleasure, man. We got to do this more often.
Yeah, and just as a hint for any players looking to try out more connected versus team play, we are going to be hosting more team tournaments in the future. We had a lot of fun and a lot of engagement. There's something about playing with a team in Tetris and playing alongside your friends. It's just like, even if you lose, it's like still a win and a lot of fun to play alongside people, like you mentioned, in voice chat or something like that, where you don't really have that experience with other Tetris game modes. So really looking forward to hosting more team tournaments in the future if you're trying to practice for those. And those team tournaments are a lot of fun because we do actually, it's more like a crew battle format, so we mix in 1v1s in addition to the 3v1 mode. So if you have like say Greentea takes on score attack for us, I do classic or whatever it may be. Maybe the other way around, because or maybe Greentea's just better than me at everything. But
it probably is.
But so that's a lot of fun, and looking forward to hosting more of those tournaments in the future, because even as a spectator, it's always fresh and it's a lot of fun to commentate. So hopefully you had that pleasure of joining me for that connected versus some crazy matches for your first time commentating. Hopefully you had some fun with that. And with that, I think we are going to finish our stream here. So thank you everyone for tuning in the last few Fridays for the Tetris 40th community showcases as we celebrate Tetris 40th. We have more in store. As you know, this is the 40th year in general. We're going to have a lot of Tetris 40th action coming up. And we're planning to host even more events here on Tetris Effect Connected. So if you're looking to participate in future tournaments, etc., be sure to head to the Discord at discord.gg/enhance. Follow us on socials. Keep in the know. Reach out to me directly. I'm always happy to answer any questions you may have about like competitive things in the future. And in terms of CTWC land, I look forward to seeing you, Kingsman, at future regionals, and maybe you can mix in a little bit of TEC at some of these regional events in the future if you guys are looking to mix up the action. It's kind of a nice like side event to have something a little more chill. Like we like to have like chill TEC things where players are really dialed in on that classic Tetris, right? It's nice to take a break and play some other Tetris variants while you're waiting for your matches.
Yeah, absolutely. We got quite a few regionals that'll be coming up later on in the summer, so we'll look to see if we can add that. I think, there's here on the East Coast, we're starting to pick up on the regionals. We just have Philly that are going on this weekend, and we'll be having Hartford later in August. So there's certainly opportunities for players here on our East Coast side that maybe if they want to come out, we could put it together. Hell yeah, we want to do it, man. And we'll look to partner with you and your team to maybe get someone out there to help run that.
Yeah, absolutely. So here on the Classic Tetris Twitch, or I'm sorry, I guess we're on Enhanced Experience now. My brain is all over the place, but we'll find somewhere to raid if anyone has any suggestions. I'm looking right now, but yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. And on YouTube and Twitter, we are signing off. So thank you. And everyone on Twitch, stick around for that raid. But let's see, Kingsman, do you have any suggestions here? I'm looking around. I don't know if Classic Tetris is no longer live. They raided us, but let's see.
They did, yeah. And Shocky has already called it quits for